Hello and welcome once again to my barbecue pit. What we're doing today is a kind of a steak experiment is what we're doing. I got to tell you how I got the idea for this. There's this guy on YouTube called Dustin Hadley, and what he does is what he does is all day he looks at stuff on YouTube, and when he sees something he likes, he tries it out. And apparently he saw a video on YouTube of a guy who, instead of seasoning his steak, he seasoned the cutting board. You can see my cutting board over here. I've got a bunch of garlic chopped up and rosemary. I'm going to put some seasoning on that on the cutting board. I've got some Weber SPG, and we're going to drop some of that on the cutting board. So we're going to season the cutting board, not the steak. Got the cutting board all seasoned up. I have two steaks here. This one's going to be the control. What we're going to do with this one is, you know what I always do, Sang stir fry oil. We're going to paint both of these steaks up with some Sang stir fry oil. This one is the control, and this one is going to be the experiment steak. I'm going to flip that over and paint the other side of it with some Sang stir fry oil. And flip this one over and paint him too. I think this one's going to be the control. Like I said, it's got a big piece of fat on there. I'm not too worried about it. And we're going to season him with some of this Weber SPG, and we're going to put it on there pretty heavy, like I would anytime I cook a steak. It's a fairly thick steak. It's about 1 inch thick. Get it both sides seasoned up. So this steak will be seasoned ahead of time, and this one won't. We're going to get them both. I've got my Emerald Lagasse frying pan on the fire getting hot. As soon as it gets hot enough to cook in, we're going to throw both of these steaks in there. This one with no seasoning, and this one all seasoned up. And after this one gets cooked, I'm going to drop them on the cutting board and slice them up with some butter and toss them in the seasoning after the fact, after he's cooked. I also want to get them up to about 120 degrees because I like my steaks rare. Anyway, as soon as my frying pan gets up to temperature, we're going to drop these steaks in there. And did I mention Dustin Hadley, the guy who gave me the idea for this? You got to go check him out. I'll put a link in the description to his channel. He's got over 1 million subscribers, this guy. You might know him as the 40-year-old guy. He always says, "You're telling me for 40 years I could have been doing it this way?" That's his catchphrase. Anyway, go check out Dustin Hadley in the description. You might not know his name, but you probably know the 40-year-old guy. Anyway, so I got my steaks ready, one with no seasoning and one all seasoned up. And as soon as my frying pan gets hot enough to cook in, we'll throw them in there. I'll show you what that looks like, and we'll do it in real time. We'll cook these steaks, so stay tuned. All right, my frying pan's clocking in at about 325 degrees, so that should be hot enough to cook this meat. Let's drop in some butter into the pan. A stick of butter, a little bit of butter. Get that in there. And some Sang stir fry oil. High temperature cottonseed oil. You know all about Sang stir fry oil. Then we'll get our steak in. This is the control steak here. Some butter over there. And this is the experiment steak. No seasoning on this one. And we'll just let them fry in there and develop a crust on those steaks. And I'm just going to let the camera run, but I'll edit the video so that you don't have to watch this whole process. And I'll bring you back when I get a little bit of a crust on them and I flip them. And then we'll drop this one on the cutting board with all those spices and stuff. And that one we'll just let it rest and slice it up and taste it. So stay tuned. Those steaks have been on there for about 3 minutes on one side. Let's give them a flip and see how they look. Oh, not too shabby. Got a nice crust on that one. This is a seasoned one. She's looking good too. Okay. You gotta get a thermometer and check their temperature. I don't want the internal to go above 120 because that's where I like it rare. So let me cook them till they get to the internal temperatures that I want. Then we'll put this one on the cutting board and season him up and slice him up, and we'll let that one rest on a plate. So stay tuned. Okay, my steaks are cooked the way I like them, about 120, which is rare. I'm going to get that one off on the plate. I'm going to get the other one, the one that had no seasoning. I'm going to put that right on top of that butter and seasoning. And then we're going to slice him up on there while he gets with all that seasoning and stuff on there. We're going to give him a slice. I don't want to burn myself. That's the only thing. Get a fork. Get a fork. Going to slice him right down the middle, like that. I'm going to slice them, turn them, and slice them into chunks. And then we'll toss the chunks in the seasoning and garlic and rosemary, like that. Yeah. Some of that fat off of there. Not going to eat that. Cut that steak up. No seasoning on that one when it cooked, but now it's in the seasoning. Cut it into chunks. Got a nice perfect medium rare. Knock the piece off of there. Okay. All right, keep knocking that same piece off of there. Let's get that one cut up a little bit. Get that fat out of here. We don't need that. A lot of fat on those steaks. There it goes. Okay. Now what we want to do is toss it in that seasoning and garlic and that Weber seasoning, the SPG. Toss your steak in there. Get it all coated now with butter, garlic, and seasoning. How does that look? Not too shabby. Okay. Well, all the stuff now is drink a beer and take a taste. So stay tuned. All right, my steaks are done. Here's the Frosty Root Boy mug. Here's today's beer from the Vitamin C Brewing Company. This is a Surf Roots Pilsner, 20-year anniversary. I never heard of this place, a West Coast Pilsner. I got this over at Tripping Animals. We went over to the tap room the other day, my wife and I. We bought a couple of beers. So this is a West Coast Pilsner. I have no idea what that is. We're just going to pour that out. And yeah, it's got a lot of head on it. I know that. Okay, we like a lot of head, don't we? We like some head. Everybody likes a little head. That's a little too much head. Just gonna have to power through it, I guess. Let's quaff the froth off it. There's plenty of froth to quaff. Ah, very good beer. Vitamin C Brewing Company. West Coast Pilsner, very nice. I get my steak over here. This is the one that was seasoned ahead of time. We're going to taste that one first. Got a nice. So let me turn the camera around and let you see me eat. Stay tuned. Okay, I got my steak done. This is the one that we didn't season. We put on the cutting board. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that steak. And this is the one that I did season. We're going to try that one first. Beautiful, perfect, medium rare. I'm going to pop that in my mouth. It's good. Damn good. You can taste the seasoning. Salt, pepper, and garlic. I need a napkin. Had to wipe my mouth. Yeah. Oh, got a beautiful crust on that steak, boy. Okay. Let's try the one that we didn't season. This one. Swallow that steak. Let me wash that down. That's a good beer, vitamin C. I should have bought more of it. Sorry that I did. All right. So here's the steak that got seasoned afterwards on the cutting board. Tastes the same. I don't know what to say. I need another piece. I need a further evaluation. Another piece of steak. Well, here's my assessment. They taste exactly the same. The one that I seasoned beforehand, the one that I seasoned afterwards, they taste exactly the same. Well, the one with the rosemary is a little nicer, so I didn't put rosemary on the other one. Anyway, the only way you're going to find out if you like this is for you to try this out yourself, I guess. Get yourself some, maybe this will be the thumbnail for the AI. I'll smile with my steak. And get yourself a couple of steaks and try this experiment. It's 6 of one, half a dozen of another. Got a piece of gristle. Anyway, yeah, season it beforehand or season it afterwards, doesn't matter. It tastes exactly the same, I gotta tell you. Anyway, babies, that's my video. I hope you enjoyed it. You know what I always say, if you like this crap, please subscribe. If you don't, go up in the iCard, visit my friend Rivet Gardner. Rivet Gardner's a great guy. He's making videos left and right. He just made he's making some amazing Egyptian food lately. Anyway, go check him out. Subscribe to me, the Root Boy Cooks. Come back next week. We may not cook anything good, but we will drink a beer. This is a good beer. This is, what's this called? Surf Roots TV. I don't know what that means. Download the app. Why do I want to download an app? A West Coast Pilsner with 5% alcohol. It's a very nice beer. It's got it has notes of citrus fruit in it, which is kind of odd for a Pilsner. Anyway, yeah, the steak turned out wonderful. It's delicious. A lot of gristle on that steak. I think the one with the seasoning afterwards is slightly better than the one that was seasoned aforetime. Anyway, babies, we'll see you next week. Bye!